Welcome to The Pulse. I'm Ron Roberson. The Wooden Floor is a nonprofit organization that equips young people through dance. With us is Executive Director and Co-CEO Don S. Reese. Don, welcome.
Thank you, Ron. Good to be with you.
I am so excited to do this because I did a little research, and what an amazing organization that you all have. It really touched my heart. For those that don't know about you, tell us a little bit.
Sure, I'm glad to. The Wooden Floor is a nonprofit after-school organization that annually helps 375 low-income students in the city of Santa Ana and 14 other surrounding communities in California to strive for a better life for themselves. And we do that through the power of dance. And we believe that dance really changes the way the students think about themselves and the world around them. Our students stay with us starting in 3rd grade all the way through high school. And what we believe is that through using dance coupled with academic tutoring, college prep and family services, they really achieve what they need to do in life. And since 2005, 100% of our students have graduated high school and immediately have enrolled in college all over the country. So we have students today at NYU, Cornell, SMU, UCLA, UCI, and it's a really terrific experience. So since 1983, we've served over 80,000 young people through our year-round dance program, as well as a program that we put into the schools called Dance Free Weeks, where we go into Title I schools in the city of Santa Ana and Tustin, California, in order to bring in dance education only in 1 week. And only 1 week of dance education makes a significant impact on the students. The teachers tell us that a student that maybe starts the year in September feeling down or maybe not smiling in the classroom, after 1 week of being touched by the wooden floor, they have smiles on their faces and opportunities to try to start to excel in school. So we really feel blessed by what we're trying to do.
And blessed indeed you are. How did you come up with the name The Wooden Floor?
So we started in 1983 by a sister of St. Joseph of Orange in California, and Beth Burns, she had a dream to start a pilot project one summer. And what happened was, at the end of the summer, the students didn't want to go back to their everyday life because the goals were to keep you off the streets and out of trouble during the summer. And at the end of it, they said, well, we want to stay with you. So Beth founded the Wooden Floor. At the time, it was called St. Joseph Ballet. And it started from there. It started in a basement of a church and then grew to 2 locations. And today we're in our own location in Santa Ana. We have 21,000 square foot building with 3 dance studios, an education center, a community center, and a wonderful courtyard that the families feel that they're able to sit and relax and be part of one big community. So we're very proud of the growth of the organization.
And speaking of growth, you all are getting ready to do a more national approach in order to attract and impact more students.
Right. So in 2009, the board set out a really ambitious 10-year vision for the organization. If you recall, it was in the middle of the recession and things were starting to be more troubled, but the Wooden Floor's impact was still really being felt. And the board felt, this too shall pass, right? And so we still have to keep the big vision of what's our impact. And so people were starting to ask us, are we looking at plans to go into other communities? And we were like, well, we're not sure. Let's start really looking at it closely. And so we really took I think the hallmark of the Wooden Floor is we're very prudent and we're very smart and strategic. We've always been that way since we started. And so what we decided to do is really start looking at how do you create that vision. And so we took an approach where we looked at other national organizations who scaled their impact. We evaluated what made sense for us, and we came down to a plan that we're going to disseminate our model in the nonprofit community. That's not like franchising or having a chapter affiliate model. And the way it is, it's actually we provide consulting, training, and curriculum. And it's all tied to our own theory of change and our different programmatic elements that I mentioned before. So what we do is that when we're going to license our model, we're going to ensure that the licensed partner will employ our theory of change with all the different programmatic elements of contemporary dance approach with academic tutoring, college preparatory services, as well as family services. But the way they implement the model will meet the needs of the community they serve. So currently we're talking to one organization, and their model is going to look very different in the way that it's serving their community, because their community has today in Orange County, and there we serve in Santa Ana, it's primarily Latino students, but in the location we're talking today, for an example, it's African American. And so, there's all kinds of other types of challenges that happen with other types of family dynamics and everything else. And so they're able to, be able to implement it the way that they best know that it meets the needs of their community. We don't want to assume what's happening in other communities that we're not in ourselves. Right. And the best part is that it gives them the also for the wooden floor is that we also won't have the, financial burden, the governance burdens, the programmatic, staffing. And so what's great for us is that we'll be able to remain really nimble and really flexible in the way we approach this, because we could actually have several of them, and our goals are that it should not impact the wooden floor itself, because we're just providing that sort of training. So we've created something called a wooden floor in a box. And so it's going to be web-based portal, training modules, things like that, that we're also going to have to do some in face-to-face training. Right. But eventually we see it, so it's going to be easy access for them to go onto our own website through the license model and be able to download information, things like that.
And you mentioned the license partners. The benefit is exactly what? So
the benefit, in creating this, I was thinking about this, talking to the potential licensee right now, is, they get to speed quickly in the market they're serving, right? Mm-hmm. That's part of business. That's part of my own business background. I started in business before nonprofit, is how do you leverage what you're doing and get to the market quicker? So they're going to be able to take 32 years of history of the wooden floor and be able to literally launch very quickly. Secondly is, because they're affiliated with an award-winning model like the wooden floor, they're going to have immediate credibility in what they're going to try to accomplish in their individual community. So it gets excitement in the donor base and the stakeholders in that community to say, wow, we need to really embrace our arms around the organization's new model. And then lastly, I think it's really is they're going to be able to leverage our expertise at the wooden floor, because we've been the pioneers and leaders in creative youth development for over 30 years. And so for them, they're going to have our expertise, they're going to have our training. And so I really believe that it's really going to tie to operational effectiveness and efficiencies on their part, because they're going to be able to innovate on their end, but they're going to be able to base that on what we've already created and what we will continue to create over the term of the many years of the license, because we plan to be here 30 plus more years or forever. Unfortunately, poverty, as you know, it's one of those things that has been around for generations. We know there's going to be always challenges of poverty. We would look one day of a utopia and there would be no poverty, but we know that the wooden floor has high impact, and we know it's going to make a difference in communities.
Yeah. Well, it just seems like you all have touched all the bases, and you've dotted all the I's, if you will, and crossed all the T's. What does the wooden floor expect to get out of all of this?
So there's a couple of things. We want to see that the licensed partner will have the same impact that we do and be able to touch the lives of more students across the nation through our innovative model. We know it works. We know it's proven. Like I said earlier, since 2005, 100% of our students have graduated high school and immediately gone into college. So some communities, just graduating high school is going to be their first marker of success. One organization we're talking to right now, the graduation rate in that community is 47%. Wow. So 100%, and 100% of the students graduate high school and go to college. We know that that's really going to make a difference, and we know that's through the power of dance. We're firm believers in that, and especially our contemporary dance approach. And then secondly is we see the success stories. We have these individual students, and we have a student graduating with us this year that she has had all kinds of challenges. She's been with us since she was 9 years old. She's been with the wooden floor since she was 9. She's had challenges in elementary school, middle school with her family. She's had some health issues in her family. When she's been able to come to the dance studio, she's been able to express that in there so she can feel comfort and just let it out when she's on the dance, so that stress she was feeling. But one of the things she says about herself, she just spoke at an event we just had, is that she was really shy when she came into the wooden floor. And most of our students say that, that I was really shy when I came into the wooden floor. But then you see them at the end of the wooden floor, they're so poised and confident, and you're like, well, you were shy. But one of the things that we believe is that that since what happens in the dance studio creates really, they become really powerful internally, right? They feel successful, they feel courageous, they feel like they can take on challenges. So a student like, I don't want to say her name because of confidentiality, but you know, she says she was shy. Well, she's gone on to, you know, play 3 instruments, be in mariachi, choral, student leadership. She carries a 4.0 GPA.
Wow.
And at the end of the day, she's graduating with a wooden floor. This June, she is been accepted to Cal State Fullerton here in California. And she plans to be a major in sociology and minor in dance.
Wow.
And her long-term goal is to become an educator. So we believe today students like the one I'm speaking about are change agents. So if their life is changed, they then help change their families, their neighborhoods, their own, you know, our community of Orange County. And now when we have this model of a licensed partnership, we also look for this to be changing nationwide children and even globally. Today we have some students that want to work in global causes once they graduate college. And you know, these are children coming from the inner city that say, I want to be a nurse in a global, you know, national organization for service. And you know, it's just the impact of the model is just far reaching, and we call it internally the ripple effect of our work. Is that, you know, one child changed can have that kind of impact in a community.
In closing, I'm sold. I'm hearing everything you're saying. You've got me on the edge of my seat. I'm ready to become a licensed partner.
Great.
What's the process?
So we've developed a really great process. We have a very effective due diligence process and a questionnaire that we'll send to the licensed partner to start the wheels churning and see if this is the right thing for them. One of the things is that it's going to take a lot of effort and a lot of work in order to implement something like this, but we firmly believe if they're committed to it and they have these right certain things in place, such as strong leadership, proven outcomes, effective organization for as far as sustainability, that it's probably a really good fit for us to have an initial discussion.
Great.
And so they're happy to call us at 714-541-8314 or send us an email to info@thewoodenfloor.org.
Great. Thank you so much for being with us, and continued success.
Sure. Thank you, Ron.
All right.
Appreciate it.
And thank you for watching. This is The Pulse. I'm Ron Roberson. We'll see you next time.